Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it very much. A lot of good information floating around here. I want to go talk about pipelines. We've talked about how we need pipelines to get the natural gas where it needs to go, particularly in the Northeast. But in the Commonwealth of Virginia, we have two pipelines coming through right now, pretty much at the same general area. And people have a lot of questions, and I have a lot of questions. And FERC can do a better job. And I talk to you all about this because a lot of you all are new, and we got to figure it out. And so I appreciate, Mr. Chairman, you revisiting the 1999 standing policy on pipeline applications. But let me just tell you about the one coming through my district. One comes through my district and one doesn't, but they're fairly close together. I learned about it when a member of a board of supervisors in the county called me up and said there's surveyors all over the county. Nobody knows what they're doing, but they claim it has something to do with a gas pipeline. Now, that's not y'all's fault. I get it. That's somebody else's fault, the folks who were, not informing the elected officials. But I didn't know anything about it. The county didn't know anything about it. Nobody knew anything. Then comes FERC, adding insult to injury, had two public hearings. Goodlatte, Hurt, who was here then, and myself begged for more public hearings so that people could travel a shorter distance to get to these hearings because it was affecting their communities. Didn't happen. Crickets. And so I'm glad you're looking at it, and I'm going to assume, Mr. McIntyre, or Chairman McIntyre, that this new plan that you're looking at will review the public comment meeting process as part of your evaluation. Is my assumption correct? Yes or no?
Yes, it is correct. That's very much within the scope of what we intend to review.
And can I further assume that you are committed to working to ensure there's a method by which FERC offers full and transparent comment from the public about potential projects? Can I make that assumption as well, yes or no?
Yes.
Now, I have a bill in. It's been so frustrating that Senator Tim Kaine and I, we don't generally agree on a lot of things. We both have bills in. Now, we got different versions because we don't always agree on things, but we have bills in on this. Mine is H.R. 2893, the Pipeline Fairness and Transparency Act, and this is to express these concerns that our constituents have been living with now for several years and still feel very frustrated. But I'd like to even look at going further than that. So I want you all's input on that, but I would also like input on things that we can do, like on placing the lines, on putting the lines in the same corridor. While the folks in that corridor may not appreciate it, you don't have two different sets of communities all across the Commonwealth of Virginia being disrupted. And then maybe taking a look at where are the companies and what are the policies where the companies are placing not only the pipeline, but the pumping facilities to move the pipe down the line. And do they need to be quite as big? A lot of folks are concerned about that. So as we go forward, are you all willing to work, and I would ask each of you, are you willing to work with us to try to get some legislation that makes folks feel like it's not just being crammed down their throats, but that they actually have input and that somebody out there is actually listening?
We would welcome the opportunity to work with you on that. I don't want to leave you with the false impression that we don't have mechanisms in place today for proper public input, because we certainly do. And one of the key issues that's before us, even under our existing policy, is to make a determination as to whether a particular project is needed. And as to route, I'm sorry to interrupt, sir.
Well, and I'd be happy to give more answer, but my time is running out and I've got another subject to hit. But I would just tell you the frustration level in Virginia is so high that while you all have a system, I appreciate you looking at it because it apparently isn't working to give confidence in the public. And I appreciate that. Now I've got to move on to some issues related to businesses and homes that are on non-federal hydropower project facilities. I have gotten a lot of questions from friends of Claytor Lake that I will submit for the record and hope that you all will answer after the fact, because we have some real issues related to shoreline management plans. This issue didn't really develop until in the last 10 or 15 years, and so we have some questions about how that goes forward. I picked up Robert Hurt's bill on shoreline management, the SHORE Act, which is HR 1538, and I hope that you all give us some input on that, but I think this is something that we need to work on together because a lot of folks feel their property rights have been affected, and of course, economic development has been affected as well. So look forward to working with you all on those issues as well, and I see that my time is up, and Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Chairman yields back.